What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Regrowth. Oh yeah, guys. So last episode, yeah, we got some stuff done. We finally got that creeper heart. We were finally able to make the creeper seeds. We finally got the extreme infusion stone. Lots of good stuff, guys. So I've been working off camera on our base. You can see back there all the work that I've done. No, I haven't touched that side. I did complete the side that's in front of me, actually. Oh, stop hitting F5 so many times. Yeah, so both of these two hexagons over there are completed. And I did put in the walkways between them. So now we have 4 connected paths, 4 connected islands, which is pretty awesome. Those diagonal walkways are kind of a pain to get in there. You can kind of see over there on the dirt platforms that we now have grass spreading in a few locations. So eventually, maybe by the end of this episode or whatever, those will be completely grass like our other 2 that we have are. So that'll be pretty awesome. What I want to do today, I want to start looking at some of our quests that we have here. It looks like we did finally complete the very first section, what the world came to be. So that one, I guess this quest right here, the Spelunking Fanatic. Yeah, I guess that was the last quest for this section, so that's pretty cool. The way the world works, though, I saw that we had a few more Botania things unlocked. So we had this one for making the mana pylons. The mana pylons replace the 15 bookshelves around our enchantment table. So we should look at making those. There's also one that wants us to get into Terrasteel and potion brewing and all sorts of things like that. We also have this other one that wants us to make all of these different, I guess, 7 sins runes or whatever. So we could look at doing that as well. So let's go ahead. I think we should probably sleep till daytime. Yeah, I found out that the builder's wands have modes on them. You can kind of see all the chat spam here for when it's placing all the dirt and stuff. Yeah, on these builder's wands, this chest right here. See, this one says mode horizontal fluid stop. So you can set the different modes on here. In the options under controls, there is better builder's wand, change mode M. There's a few other keys that are mapped to M in this mod pack, like mechanism, I think railcraft. I had to unset this one. And then also there was, millionaire, however you say that. Yeah, I guess I unmapped the key and I don't know how to do it. I set it to number 7, and when I press 7, now it brings this up. So I might have mapped it to something incorrectly. Anyway, I had to unset all those different things. And then if you press M while holding the builder's wand, you can change the mode. So you got all these different options, so you can make it so it only goes higher into the east or the west, or etc., etc. The default mode is no lock. That's what happens when you first make it. It says extend left, right, up, down from the original block. If you press the mode key once, you go horizontal, and that way you'll only place blocks horizontally, and then there won't be no mistake. Oops, I clicked this block and I filled in 1,500 blocks. Yeah, it'll only go horizontal. So filling in these platforms is way safer doing it that way. So I'm definitely making sure to hit that mode key on there. Okay, so we wanted to make the mana pylons. Let's go ahead and do that. So the recipe for these guys is 2 mana diamonds. Well, we're going to make 2 of these, right? So 2 mana diamonds and 4 mana steel and 4 gold. So we need 4 iron, 2 diamonds. Don't have enough loose diamonds, so we'll just go ahead and unblockify a block, and then we need 2 diamonds thrown into our mana pool to turn those into the mana diamonds. So this is pretty easy stuff. Cool. So we got everything we need, and then we can go ahead and look at removing our bookshelves. Now, I'm not sure what we're going to do with the bookshelves. I don't know if there's any reason to keep them or not, so I'll probably just silk touch them just so we have them. We're not wasting the planks. If we need the books out of them later, I'm sure we can go ahead and take them apart and get the books out of them, should we choose to. Anyway, let me go ahead and take this apart. It's going to take a second here, and we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, so this is what we're left with. We have the enchantment table and then 2 mana pylons. Yeah, this takes up a whole lot less space. We have a lot more free space available. And since we had our brew stand like on the bookshelves around the enchantment table, this would just be on the ground now. So I decided just to cut up a block of iron using the forge micro block saw or whatever. Yeah, we just have we have 4 of these blocks of iron strip. And then we have this one right here, the block of iron panel. Yeah, and then we just put the brew stand on there just to make it like a little table or something like that. I thought that looked kind of cool. I've done this before in the past, so just a little something to put our brew stand on. So we should go ahead and claim the quest. Yep, that's going to give us an enchanted book plus a companion title scroll, which as far as I can tell are worthless. And then 1 of 4 enchanted books. Which one's the best one? I don't know. It doesn't tell us what these are. They could all be really good. They could all be like, I don't know. They could be really bad. They could all be Bane of Arthropods, right? Except for one of them. Let's do this one. Protection 4. Were we not supposed to get a few others? Here we go. So yeah, Bane of Arthropods 5. Protection 4. Okay, that's fine. Don't think... Oh, I guess our boots don't have protection on them, do they? So we could put protection 4 on our diamond boots. That might be a good thing. We should also look at getting feather falling at some point. Do we have an anvil? I feel like we had an anvil. There's a blacksmith's anvil. I don't recall seeing it upstairs, although I might have just kind of missed it. Maybe we've never made an anvil. No, I think we just regularly enchanted all of our stuff before. So let's make ourselves an anvil then. We need, was it 3 that and then 5 iron? Was it 4? It might be 4 iron. All right. So there's that. And that. Cool. I feel like there's an anvil around here somewhere and I'm just not seeing it. Anyway, we'll stick this up here by our enchantment table. Cool. I don't think that blocks the signal. I think the diagonal is fine. Hopefully, if so, we can move this thing like back here where this torch is or something. Anyway, we don't have to worry about that right now. Let's take our boots off. We'll put the protection 4 on there. That costs 9 levels. Do it. Cool. So now we're a little bit more protected. I'm breaking protection 4. I'm breaking 3 protection 3. Projectile protection 4 and thorns 2 and fire protection 3. Not bad. So as far as the Bane of Arthropods is go, I don't know what we're going to do with it. No reason to use Bane of Arthropods as far as I know. So this one says this has special rendering effect. It says I'm an enchanter. So let's see what this one looks like. We go in here. Put that one there. Oh. Well, that's kind of cool. It gives me the effects of like... Yeah, it gives me the effects of the... whatever that is. The little symbols that normally go from the bookshelf to the enchantment table. That's kind of cool. I like it. Alright. But that's going to get kind of annoying as well. So let's go ahead and take it off. That's kind of a cool thing, though. I like that. Alright, so we'll just stick that down here in our chest of random mod stuff like we do. So we have a few of the enchantment scrolls down here now. We have enchanter. I guess we have 2 enchanters for some reason. I don't know how we got the second one. We had the force of habit one, and then we had this nature's attendant, which put like a little butterfly above our head, which was kind of cool. All right, so we are making progress here. I was wondering, or I was thinking, if we should start working on the Terrasteel, but I think before we start doing the Terrasteel stuff, we're probably going to want to set up our Botania in a more permanent location. We have 4 different platforms to choose from right now, and I don't really know how we're going to lay out the Botania stuff. Maybe we should just kind of stick it in a corner and just, or I guess in like a little section, and then spread out as we need it. Yeah, we're going to want flowers that are going to produce mana. We're going to want a few mana pools around. We're going to want our mana spreaders and the runic altar and all of this stuff set up in a more permanent spot than what it is right now. So maybe what I should do, let me go and grab like the Botania stuff that we have, like these flowers and all this. We'll kind of stick it, maybe not this one. Maybe we'll do it like over here. We'll do like Botania here, maybe half Botania, half witchery. And we'll have one for Thaumcraft eventually, and we should probably get the magic on one side. So yeah, let me go ahead and tear some of this stuff down, get all of our Botania stuff on one of our islands, and we'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, well I got all of our Botania stuff moved over here. It's not really a whole lot of stuff, is it? We have our runic altar, we have our mana pool with our Endo Flames, our mana spreader that's moving the mana from the mana pool to the runic altar for our runic altar crafting, and then our mana spreader, which is pointed down into the mana pool that's putting the mana generated by Endoflames in here. So I was able to move the mana around using our mana tablets. We could save the mana that was in our mana pool when we had it over here. Yeah, it sucked it up into the tablet, moved everything, and then put it back in there. We still have one more mana tablet remaining. I did bring over my living rock, but we left the living wood back over at the base. The reason for this is because we're using the living rock a lot for when we're doing our runic altar craftings. Yeah, we always have to click one on there and use the wand to complete the craft. So I figured we should leave that over here. The living wood we haven't really had to use too much except for regular crafting recipes. Then I've also brought over my day blooms, the hydrogena. I can never say that word right. The hydro flowers. That's what I'm calling them. Don't correct me. That's what we're calling them. The clay flower and the alchemy catalyst. Yeah, so all this stuff we've brought over here. I did bring over our petal apothecary so we can create more flowers. We need to set up ourselves a infinite water source over here so we can easily fill this thing up. So that'll be something we can work on in the future sometime. And then we did have 4 pure daisies, so I set up some spots over here for the pure daisies. We just lay out our blocks on our cobblestone stone brick things. Yeah, and then the wood or the stone will turn into the other. Okay, cool. So we got that all sorted. We have all these things over here. Yeah, and as we get it more and more into Botania and we need more room or more space for things, we can go ahead and set up more permanent structures and areas for these. Also, like I said, we're probably going to do half and half for Botania and Witchery. Then there's also Thaumcraft on the other island like I was talking about, but we also have Blood Magic as well. So maybe we'll do Thaumcraft and Blood Magic over here when we get into both of those. We haven't even touched those mods yet. Anyway, let's go back to our quest book here. So I was thinking, yeah, we should do the terrestrial agglomeration plate. Agglomeration plate. I keep saying that wrong. All right, so let's read the quest. It says, it's not out of this world. Beyond the abilities of Terrasteel, the Lexica Botania has an entry on the creation and properties of Terrasteel, a substance created by combining different mana-infused substances together. To create Terrasteel, a terrestrial agglomeration plate is necessary to act as a catalyst for the fusion of the components with a large volume of mana. Now, they're not kidding about a large volume of mana. It takes a half a mana pool to make one piece of Terrasteel. So if you have a mana pool completely filled, you can drain it all and make 2. Yeah, it takes a lot. Now, I don't know. Do we have Terrasteel seeds in this mod pack? Because that would be awesome. I don't think we do. No, I think we're going to have to make all the Terrasteel the Botania way. Yeah, we're going to have to make all the Terrasteel the Botania way. So eventually we're going to need a lot of mana generated. I've only used Endoflames before in the past. Like I set up this crazy array of droppers dropping coal onto Endoflames that filled up a bunch of mana pools. Yeah, and we sucked all of the mana out of those using sparks and things like this in the past in Infinity Evolved Expert mode. I think we might try moving on to some better flowers this time. Yeah, we're going to want something better than that. I really don't want to set up one of those crazy arrays with a whole bunch of Endoflames. So we'll have to look at that for making Terrasteel. But the recipe for this, so we're going to need 3 lapis blocks. We're going to need a block of mana steel, and then all the base runes, fire, earth, water, air, and mana. So we should have all of those together. Now, like I said, I left a lot of the Botania stuff, like crafting components over here. Yeah, and that is a crafting recipe. We don't have to do that on the runic altar. So we can just come over here and use those things. So we do have 3 lapis blocks here, so that's pretty awesome. We are going to need a block of the mana steel. So we can either put in 9 iron ingots into the mana pool, or we can put in a block of iron, which does the same thing. It just uses 9 times more mana, and then we don't have to craft it later. So it's a little bit better, I guess, to do it this way. Cool. So we got that done. Right. So now the only other things we need are those 5 runes. I think it was 5 runes. Yeah. And then we should be able to get this whole thing made. Now, there's also another part to this. Not only do we have to make the Terrasteel plate, it has to be put on a multi-block structure. So let's grab our runes here. We need the rune of mana. Then we need fire, water, earth, and air. All right, I guess we're gonna have to make up a few more of those runes. Terrasteel plate this thing. There it is. Done. Yeah, so now we are missing, what was it, the earth and the air runes? Yeah, we're gonna have to make those up again. That's too bad. Okay, so we have this, and I do believe in order to make what we need 5 lapis blocks, or maybe it's 4 lapis blocks and 5 of the living rock. I can't quite remember. I'm gonna have to look that up, but I do know that we do have a decent amount of the essence of lapis, so we should be able to make some more of this stuff and make the blocks that we need. So there is 60. Yeah, that's more than enough. Perfect. All right, so let's put the rest of the essence away. And that. And like I said, our living rock is over here. And I think we might set this up 1 block above the ground just so we don't have to dig out the ground to lay this. Because I don't know exactly where this thing is going to go permanently. We also are going to have to look at making sparks. Because I've tried using this terrestrial plate before. The Terrasteel plate with a mana pool and a mana spreader shooting the mana over, and yeah, the base mana spreaders at least go too slow. The items will despawn before enough mana has reached the plate. Yeah, so at least 5 minutes, if not, well, longer than 5 minutes to make it that way. It's not gonna work. I don't know where we're gonna put this thing. I guess we could stick it over here for now, somewhere nearby our mana pool, and we'll figure out a better place for this later. So I think it is something like, I think it's lapis like that, and then living rock like this. It does say in the Lexica Botania, but I don't have that with me. I think it's like that, and then you put the plate right there. Or it could be the inverse pattern of this. I think this is right, though. All right, so we're going to have to make ourselves some sparks. And those are pretty easy and pretty inexpensive to do. Some blaze powder, some of the petals, and then a gold coin or a gold nugget, whatever. Yeah, they're pretty inexpensive. And these will transfer mana from the mana pool to the plate. And like I said before, trying to do it with the mana spreader took over 5 minutes, like the items would despawn. With a spark, 1 single spark on both of these, it'll take 7 to 10 seconds. It's like super quick. Anyway, sun's going down. Let me get a few more things going here, guys, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, so I went ahead and I added in a water tank underneath our Petal Apothecary. So this has been going for a while now. We got 34 buckets in there. Yeah, so it's going to be gaining over time. So that way we don't have to have a puddle of water somewhere and we don't have to use a bucket to do that and back and forth. Well, I guess we're still going to have to use a bucket. We can use a bucket on the water tank so we can put water in, take water out like this. So it doesn't matter where we're clicking. We just don't have source blocks of water around. Originally, I was going to put like a tank on top of this so we could fill up from the water tank into it, but it doesn't look like this pushes water from the top. Like it'll drain water to the bottom, I think is how that works. We have those water tanks over here and it is pushing the water down, but yeah, it wouldn't push the water up, at least into mariculture tanks. So yeah, I just said, you know what, let's just put this right underneath the Petal Apothecary. It's a 3x3 structure anyway, so we just got rid of the stone. I think that's going to work just fine. Cool. So I wanted to make a different flower so we could gain more mana here instead of having to burn coal and stuff for our endoflames. So I wanted to look at making the Entropinium. This is a flower that absorbs TNT. Okay, so I just got done taking gray mystical flower seeds. We only have those at 222. I just got done bringing those up to almost the 10-10-10s over there. So I've taken some time here off camera to bring those up and do some other stuff around here. I made the Rune of Wrath. So this recipe requires wrath and fire, and then it also requires 2 white, 2 gray, and 2 red. So let's put those in there. So that should be everything we need. Yeah, and it shows a little picture. So all we gotta do is drop seed on there. Boom, done. So our wrath is gone and our fire is gone. So we have to make a fire as well. I did make up some earth, runes of earth earlier. So yeah, we got some things done and some other things we don't have done. So if we stick this here, this is probably going to connect over to this particular mana spreader, which we don't want. We want to connect it to this one, so it'll shoot the mana down. We can hold out our wand here and just kind of see, yeah, it's connected to that one. You can see that's highlighted. So we shift right click. This one is now highlighting this mana spreader. Yeah, so when we explode TNT, the mana will shoot up here and then go into our mana pool. Now, I'm not sure how fast this makes mana. In fact, we should probably pick up some of these things just to make sure something bad doesn't happen. If it blows up our mana spreader or what's left of our mana pool, whatever, that's fine. So it's supposed to nullify TNT explosion around it, I think. Maybe we should reread the book. In order to generate a blast of mana, one might, in fact, require a blast nearby, igniting a block of TNT in the near and endropinium. If it doesn't fall in water, we'll have the latter absorb all entropy generated by the blast into itself, creating a large amount of mana and nullifying any possible damage. Okay, so it sounds like if the TNT falls in the water, this won't work. If it doesn't fall into water, it will work. So we're going to try this. Hopefully that doesn't blow everything up. Okay, it looks like it did some stuff here. So this should be generating mana. Yeah, it definitely generated some. Our mana spread is full, so that generates a lot of mana, actually. The End of Flames, if we have like 4 of those going, it'll barely keep that mana spreader like below that first quarter. Yeah, it'll fill up a little bit, then it'll shoot, then it'll fill up a little bit, then it'll shoot. This is like, it created a lot of mana. I don't know if we wasted mana because it was not filling up our mana spreader all the way. We might have to do the next tier spreaders like the Elven mana spreader. I honestly don't know, but TNT is pretty inexpensive, guys. We can make sand and we can make gunpowder, no problem. So we can do this all day long. I'm gonna stand next to it this time. Just make sure that I don't take any damage. I don't take damage, and that explosion doesn't seem that loud either. I was kind of afraid if we did that, it would be like the loud explosion TNT sound, and we'd hear that everywhere. I kind of feel like we could set this up with dispensers dispensing that, and we won't have to worry about hearing it. Yeah, we'll have to figure out how long in between we'll be able to do that. So how are we doing over here on the mana? Oh, it's not that good, is it? I mean, it is full, or it is like producing mana, but I think we need a few of these things and a lot of TNT constantly going. Yeah, you can't hear that far away. So those are going to be pretty good. Cool. So we'll have a dispenser dispensing TNT onto these things. We're going to have to set up a few of those. In fact, it might be a good idea to get our creeper seeds out and constantly being harvested and all this stuff. That's something we'll have to look at in the future so we could do a constant supply. Otherwise, we'll just have to continually use our endoflames here. I think these guys connected to the wrong one. Shift click all these up here. Yep. And we can also use, I guess we could take our day blooms out and get those going. I mean, those are just going to be destroyed anyway. We gotta lay these all out, and after a couple of days, they'll just disappear. Yeah, we'll want to get a decent amount of mana here. So we should also look at making those sparks like I was talking about earlier. I thought it said that we needed 2 petals, and I can't remember. Gold nugget and something else. What was it? 2 petals? Ah, blaze powder. Do we have blaze powder? I'm pretty sure we have essence of blaze or blaze essence or whatever that's called. So I assume that should turn into some kind of a blaze powder. Essence of the nether, essence of blaze. What are the uses on these? Alright, that'll turn into the blaze rods. Yeah, that'll be fine. So let's go ahead and make ourselves some blaze rods. Perfect. Put the rest of that stuff away. Alright, so we have the blaze. We need some gold nuggets. And we need some petals. We have plenty of petals laying around. I guess we can just do some purple ones. It doesn't change the color of them, so it doesn't matter what color you use. Oh, we need to make the powder. I guess that way. I don't remember if that matters. Maybe it does matter. There we go. All right, so there's 2 sparks. Nice. Yeah, and like I said, these are really, really cool. They will produce the Terrasteel really quickly. So in order to produce the Terrasteel, we're going to need the mana diamond, a mana pearl, and a mana, I think mana steel is what it is. Yeah, so we can just right click that right here on the mana pool, puts a little spark right there. We put another one right here, and they won't do anything, not until we put those 3 items on this plate by itself. So I'm going to continue to try and get our mana pool full. Might be able to speed up just by dumping this in here as well. Try and get this full. We'll look at making a piece of Terrasteel, and that will be the last part that we need to actually complete. Oh, wrong one. This is not the quest book. Where's my quest book? Lost it. There it is. Found it. Yeah, we needed to make 1 piece of Terrasteel to complete this quest, so let's wait for our mana pool to fill up, and then we will be right back, guys. Alright, guys, so it looks like in order to get the upgraded mana spreader, we're going to have to set up the portal to Alfheim. That's something we can do after we get our first bit of Terrasteel. So now, let's just take an Ender Pearl, we'll stick that in there, and then with these 2 sparks, we should just be able to take a little bit of the mana pearl, the mana steel, and the mana diamonds, drop those all on the plate, like so. And yeah, it's just going to draw mana over from here. You can see it's sucking out of our mana pool really fast. Yeah, and that's going to turn that into Terrasteel in almost no time at all. Yeah, I guess if you have more sparks and more mana pools, it goes that much faster. Was it not done yet? I thought it would have been done. Goodbye, all our mana. There it is. There it is. Dancer in the dark. What is this? Conjure a Terrasteel ingot using Terrasteel plate. Cool. All right, so we have that Terrasteel ingot now. Nice. So we can look at making the Elven Gateway core, I think. Yeah, this requires some Terrasteel. I think we just need one of those, and the rest of it can be living wood. There's also, I think there's a glowy living wood thing. We'll look at that another time, guys. But I think we're going to go and wrap the episode up here for today. Yeah, we got our Botania stuff moved over here. We kind of started getting our Botania base laid out in such a way. Nothing fancy yet, but yeah, we finally moved one of our mods over onto one of our new islands. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and look at building the other islands, getting those bridges over here, and getting everything together so we can get our whole base spread out the way it should be. But yeah, guys, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.